Mental
health
is wealth.
The ad world thrives on pressure. How do you stay sane when every campaign is urgent?
The truth is, I haven't found one client who will say to you that business is not urgent. If the onus lies on you to be able to decide what is urgent, what is not, what you can delegate, what you need to prioritize. Typically for me, I start my day listing the things that are very important and then being able to know the ones that I can delegate, the ones I have to do myself. I'm sure we all know about the quadrants that talks about what is important but not urgent, meaning, or that means you can wait. What is urgent but not important can be delegated, and what you need to delete. So basically, you need to start every day understanding the things you need to do. And then at the end of the day, you know the ones you left undone, and then you go back to it the next day. Basically, it's about prioritizing and about learning how to delegate.
Real estate can be a roller coaster. Constant calls, clients, closings. How do you keep your peace of mind in the middle of all that stuff?
Well, I think the first thing first is just get yourself grounded in purpose. Know your why. When you master your why, every other distraction become a noise. You just become background noise. Then you're able to stay.
The tech world never sleeps. You are the sleep. Right you back.
The industry is very optimized, right? And the need to be online is very, very high, right? So from time to time, you also have to look for ways to prioritize your health and be intentional about it, right? So whether you're a DevOps engineer, whether you're a cloud, whether you're a UI UX, the technology can run 24/7, but the human behind it cannot. So in order for you to really get your best perspective, you must be able to understand how to relax and refresh. So I do sleep, really, and I always try to make out time for my team to also have certain kind of breaks to get real optimization.
Thank you so much. So you also sleep.
I do, sure.
What's one myth about success you had to unlearn for your peace of mind?
Okay, permit me to say this in pidgin. Hard work no be money.
Say it again.
Hard work no be money. You need to learn to understand what is important, especially in our business, in our industry. There are a lot of time wasters. There are a lot of things that you invest your energy in that is not going to be as productive. So don't wake up every day thinking until you work 16 hours before you blow. No, it's about understanding that for every hour you spend working on a client or on a brief, it's going to be worth your while. There are a lot of times you do things you don't know where it ends, but be sure that at every point you're giving your best, you're doing what you have to do, and then you're checking, because you don't want to waste time on something that is not going to be productive at the end of the day. So yes, that myth, if I have to go back in time, the things that I've done that I probably wouldn't do, there are things that I've done a little of that I'll do more of, because eventually it's more productive. And at the end of the day, trust me, there's always the God factor. You start your day, you start anything, understanding that He is behind it, not the amount of energy that you put into it. It will be worth your while.
What's one habit or routine you've built that helps you stay grounded when work gets crazy?
Well, I would say stillness. 30 minutes before the world begins, you have no phone, no social media, no noise, just your inner self. Connect with nature. Then I enjoy praying. It helps, to position your day very well. Then move your body. One of the beautiful part of my day is I enjoy, that moment when you have your earpod on, listening to one beautiful music, and then on a treadmill or something, get yourself working. There are a lot of opportunity that comes within those periods. Get inspiration, you get to see things differently. I think I made more money, working out than I made it when I was not interested in working. I have a schedule for the day. You cannot control the event of things, but you can control your own schedule. Get at least 3 key things that you must achieve that day. Once you kick all those things, the remaining one, rest. Life is easy. It's not hard.
How do you disconnect and recharge in an industry that's always online?
That's an interesting question. The need to be online is of high request nowadays, right? So whether you are working remotely, whether you're working on-prem, there's always a real high demand for you to be online, right? But to recharge is also very key. Personally, there's something I say. I use technology to manage technology, right? So I'm a gamer, right? So sometimes to relax, to refresh, I can game, But if you're trying to get off the screen, because a lot of times we spend so much time on the screen, so to really recharge off the screen, what works for me is I can read a book, go to the beach, talk to friends, listen to music, have good conversations, and that can also help me also optimize my thought process and come out really refreshed in it.
When was the last time you completely switched off? No emails, no clients, no calls whatsoever.
Am I supposed to be honest with this answer?
Yes.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I mean, no, I can't remember. The truth is, the things I can remember is me going in to have my son and I'm receiving a call. Me being in the theater and still receiving a call. Basically, if you're passionate about what you do, there's a place for rest, yeah? But resting for me does not necessarily mean in shutting everything down. It's about knowing what calls are important to pick, what emails are important to attend to, basically just prioritizing and know what is important, but not literally shutting down. I can't remember when I did. I honestly can't remember. It's important so rest means different things for different people, and it's important that you know yourself, you know what works for you. So in also speaking about what works for you, personally for me, traveling is relaxing for me. It doesn't mean I will shut down, not take calls, not take emails, but visiting a new place, going to do new things, those are very relaxing things for me. So I enjoy traveling. And I love to shop. It's not supposed to be, but basically it's therapeutic for me, and it's not just shopping for me, it's shopping for people I love, people around me. I mean, it's about what works for you. It's not a one cap fit all at the end of the day. I mean, for someone like me, I remember getting home last night and it was late and I was having a very bad headache. And I said to myself, what I needed at that time was to do a workout. So I did a strength training and I did workout for 1 hour and I felt a lot better afterwards. That's what works for me. It doesn't necessarily mean the next person, some other person, when you have an headache, what it means is you have to shut down everything, turn off your phone, go to bed, do nothing else. But I also know, so that's it. It's not understand yourself. That's what it means on this journey. And I think that's what a lot of young people need to do. Don't be impressionable. Don't do you. Learn to understand what works for you per time, because it necessarily may not. And the truth is, it's also about season. What works for you now, you need to also reassess it in the next 5 years and make sure it's still working for you. There are constants. There's constant, there's a family, there's God, those are constant, but everything else, understand what works for you per time, basically.
They say rest is a luxury in business. Do you agree or disagree?
I respectfully disagree. Because it's not luxury, it's a leverage. It's also a necessity. Rest refuels your strategy, and then it helps you focus better. There are a lot of things that you will achieve when you rest. I like Bible a lot. When Jesus was tired, Baba rested. So who are you that say you're not going to rest? So rest is actually key, is important. You should rest, actually. It helps with your mental health. It helps with your creativity. When you rest, you're able to think better. You're able to assimilate, you're able to bring in new ideas. For me, it helps with my strategy a whole lot.
What's one mental or wellness practice that has changed how you live your year?
Okay, I will say the word mindfulness, not just as a buzzword, but as an organizational practice, which means our focus is not really all about performance, but always about the team and empathy. So now I lead my team with a lot of empathy, ability for them to talk out, and ability for them to actually prefer solutions, right? Because how it works with mental health is that people degenerate without speaking out. And over time, the performance of the team depreciates. And you might not see it coming. It comes chop by chop till the person finally breaks down or the team suffers collectively. So I think for me personally, I've learned to understand who my teammates are and their different points and their different needs. But most importantly, give them the environment to be able to communicate and speak. So it's now people over process now. So that's what we do nowadays, and that's how I lead my team to get the best results from them.
Fill in the blank. For me, mental health is.
Mental health for me is choosing me over everything else. Choosing to take a step back and say, what does this mean for me? Because you can't give what you don't have. And you need to learn to always recharge. That's the only way you can impact people. And a lot of times we get down with a lot of things. There's so many things happening. It's affecting us mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically at the end of the day, because everything starts from your head, from your mind, and then it begins to affect your body. So when you learn to understand that mental health is me taking a step back to say, I want to be selfish in this space to understand what works for me, to understand how it makes me feel, how it helps me psychologically. That is the only way I can be in a better position to give out to other people and make the world a better place at the end of the day.
If you could give your younger self one piece of advice about balancing ambition and well-being, what would it be?
The advice I would give my younger self would be, don't take more success than your soul can handle. Take it easy, step by step. Success can be overwhelming. Success can be, the pressure can be too much. Pressure from everybody, everywhere, everything. So I would say, take it easy. Life is not hard. Money is easy to make. So don't stress yourself. Your life may be that of a. If you see your friend, displaying some form of success, quote unquote, and it's affecting you. Probably, you open on social media and then you're having a lot of permutation in your mind and all that. Their life may be a life of bungalow, while your own may be a skyscraper. While they are living in their own, you are still digging. So don't stress yourself. Life is easy. Just enjoy it.
If mental health were a startup, what will be its biggest funding challenge?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. So, if mental health was a startup, I think one of the most important challenges would be valuation, right? Because people want it, but do not know that they want it, right? So, a lot of people actually go through mental challenges, but do not understand they're going through mental challenges. So that also restricts when an investor is trying to invest in something, right? So how it works is that it's now assets over people. But when you're conscious about the mental health, you now understand that it's actually people first before the assets. One important challenge that people on this have is that they always think that wellness can be postponed, right? They never understand that it's something you do first for you to be able to get your own optimal later. So it's an investment you must take in at the beginning, not at the end. A lot of startups, I put in that word, a lot of investors usually look at it from the end perspective, not from the beginning perspective. So, that's one of the most important challenges. If for the startup, I think that would be the most challenge you're going to have. So I always encourage everyone to try and have open conversations, support groups, and environments where you're able to actually evaluate your mental health and speak up. Because once you speak up and 2 or 3 minds are gathered together, you guys can get results. And you guys can actually know the pinpoints because what might be my challenge might not be somebody else's challenge. But when there's a communication about it and conversations about it, there will always be a conscious approach in what you're going to do.
So, for me, mental health wellness is about balance. It's the harmony between mind, emotion, and purpose. It's about protecting my energy. Ultimately, mental health wellness for me is freedom. So, don't forget, mental health is wealth. Please like, share.
Subscribe to.
Wealth with Schola.
Thank you. I mean, no like we didn't just watch that.